Oh my god, did you hear about what One News political editor Mikey Sherman did? Or did you hear what was alleged to have happened at a party a year ago, where the details have been actually pretty vague, sourced from an untrustworthy source with links to known astroturf groups like the Taxpayers Union, or the specifically anti-Māori targeting of Hobson's Pledge? In this story, that seems to be targeting a Māori journalist, because they are two very different perspectives on one situation. Now, you might have seen this story from the likes of the Herald or Radio New Zealand. You may even have seen the hinting from some of the shittiest people on Twitter, if you're still there, or Annie O'Brien's Substack, about an incident that was alleged to have happened when mainstream media were at a party in the Finance Minister's office the night before the budget last year. In both of these specific stories, at the time of my recording anyway, there's no comment from either media personality claimed to be involved, and a vague, I wasn't really there for the whole thing, but I stopped things from what I heard, from Nicola Willis, as well as a follow-up comment the next day saying she chased up with one of the people involved. These stories use what we call contextual vague-ification. The known details are added to create a sense of authenticity in the audience's mind, like this happened at the Finance Minister's office, while the use of the term allegedly and incident involving creates a legal firewall, which has the effect of planting a specific damaging narrative in the public consciousness without the burden of proof. It plays up to our need as audiences to root for characters in a conflict, and because the majority of readers base their views on the headline, it creates a framing that presents us with a scandal that's implied to be true. So no matter what happens next, the court of public opinion has already been shaped. But media isn't asking questions that we should get to contextualize what's going on in this situation. They're controlling that narrative. Like, what's the deal with where this originated? Who benefits from this information becoming public now, and what is their relationship with the institutions involved? Are they like an MP who isn't liking One News for some reason? Political leaks are almost never accidental in the timing. After a week where the National Party MPs with shitty backgrounds and shitty history have been implicated with leaking to the media, while the polls show the National Party seems to be imploding faster than a billionaire's homemade submarine, well, we've got to ask ourselves, is that a coincidence? Even the phrase incident involving doesn't tell us if the line was a stand-up screaming argument between competitors or a friendly bit of banter between close friends, using a term that outsiders understandably would find offensive, but may have meaning when contextualized within their relationship as peers within the field of journalism. We simply don't know the details, and we don't know the context. Or would this still be reported if the journalists in question aligned their views with the partisan source or editorial views of the outlets publishing this? After all, one of the alleged National Party leakers from last week was actually seen threatening and using homophobic slurs as a uni student, something else that happened in the past that doesn't seem to be getting raised here. Does throwing specific media to the wolves back up and legitimize the competitor's bias, like how NZME's owner recently lost a defamation case against One News? Does that have an impact on why we are hearing this now? Is elevating this to a national headline confusing public interest with what the public is interested in? And what specific evidence is there beyond anonymous hearsay is there that supports the specific and yet vague account of events being published? All news stories like this, built on leaks that allege specifics, we really should be asking ourselves three simple questions. Is this source anonymous? Is there proof? And does it serve a political narrative? Or are we being fed rage bait filled with gaps that we rush to fill in with salacious details to create a scandalized internal understanding of events that we weren't there for and no one has given us specifics on, that benefits people who keep showing us they should be treated as unreliable and partisan to begin with? A narrative vacuum that acts like a media Rorschach test. None of these questions negate what may or may not have happened, but they give us as audiences context. And anyone who would rather that you get angry without context is clearly not doing it in the best interests of you or the wider public. Oh, hey there, podcast listeners. Thanks for checking out today's podcast, whether that's on video or audio. I really appreciate it. And I did finally get around to doing a podcast end tag, which I've been meaning to do for a while instead of just taking you onto the Facebook version. So while you're here, why not hit that subscribe button so that you can get updates coming in directly every time there's a new episode uploaded. Just seems like a really simple way to keep up to date with all of the crazy that's going on. So yeah, give that a shot and I'll talk to you soon.